Welcome to the Masterclass. I am so grateful that you've come, that you have carved out hour 10, hour 15 to go through this content with us, because I want you to be able to scale your business without doing every little task. I want you to be able to hire reliable virtual assistants and efficiently and effectively delegate tasks off your plate. I want you to get your time back. That's my promise in this Masterclass. I know that you are here because you truly want to make an impact on the world with your business, your service, or your product, but you want to do it more efficiently, right? You want to hire reliable virtual assistants to help you scale without you working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I want to remind you that we are here to support you. So if you have any questions at all, just email support@outsourceschool.com, or better yet, you can schedule a phone call with our rockstar virtual assistant team. Just click the link below to schedule that call, and they will answer any questions that you have. Okay, so 3 crazy simple tactics to hiring a reliable virtual assistant and getting at least 260 hours back a year. That's about 6.5 weeks that you're gonna get back a year using these tactics, even if you have a tight hiring budget. That is this masterclass. Now, you are in the right place if you have a business, even if it's a big one, but you're doing too much work yourself. Or at least you know you're not gonna be able to grow further without hiring affordable, reliable help. If that's the case, then I am here for you because I was in the exact same position 6 years ago. You don't need to do everything yourself, and you can get more done without working more hours. There is a better way. Or maybe you're a newer business, a startup with at least a little bit of revenue. If that's the case, we are also here for you. We love startups, and learning how to hire virtual assistants early is really smart. Hiring virtual assistants early can be a game changer, and I always wish that we didn't wait so long to learn how to hire VAs. So if you're brand new and don't have a big budget, don't worry, you are in the right place. You do need a budget, and we'll talk about the math in a second, but it doesn't have to be too big. If you are looking for a lean way to scale with as little investment as possible, we are here for you. So how big of a budget do you need? Check out this invoice that I got recently for a week's worth of work for my team. A great virtual assistant usually costs between $5 and $7 an hour out of the Philippines. Now, we start our virtual assistants at $5 an hour. We give them raises over time. So a few virtual assistants on this invoice are slightly higher than $7 an hour, but you can also see that some of them are also lower than $5 an hour. So that $5 to $7 an hour is a really good range. And for most of you watching, for the task that you're going to be hiring for, about $5 an hour is perfectly reasonable to hire a really good, reliable virtual assistant. So let's do some math. Let's say that you hire a virtual assistant for $5 an hour and you hire them for 5 hours a week. Now, you can hire virtual assistants full-time. You can hire them 25 hours a week, 5 hours a week. You can even hire them for an hour or two a month. But I think 5 hours a week is a good starting point for most entrepreneurs if they can afford it. So $5 an hour times 5 hours a week is $25 a week. That's about the cost if you order out a meal during that week. So $25 a week to get 5 hours of your time back. If you do that math over a year, it comes out to $1,300. $1,300 for the entire year to get 260 hours back. So that $1,300 a year saves you 260 hours of work. That comes out to 6.5 weeks of you working 40 hours a week. 6.5 weeks. That is a lot of time. Imagine what you could do with an extra 6.5 weeks every single year, and that's only going to cost you about $1,300. Again, you can start with 1 hour a week, 3 hours a week, 10 hours a week, but I want you to see what just paying a $5 an hour virtual assistant for 5 hours a week saves you over the course of a year. I want you to know that it's possible to hire a great virtual assistant or multiple great virtual assistants faster than you can ever imagine. Just like Paul here, who hired a few virtual assistants within a few weeks using the same tactics I'm about to show you. And he got 7 hours of his day back, 7 hours a day. That comes out to about 70 hours a year that Paul can now spend enjoying time with his family or spend on scaling and growing his business. Before he hired these virtual assistants, he was working over 12 hours a day. You can't work 12 hours a day forever. You're going to get burnt out. Paul happens to be an Amazon seller, but as you'll see, these systems apply no matter what industry you're in. If it's possible for him, it's possible for you. This changed his business and his life so much that he even made a video about us and put it on his website. But he's not the only one. Meet Du, who already runs a successful online business and already had a team of virtual assistants. He implemented one of our 3 tactics to improve the communication on his team. He implemented it within a few days. And he now says it's one of the best decisions he has ever made. This training tactic allowed him to see what virtual assistants he should spend more time training and what virtual assistants are not worth spending extra time on. He is now able to make better hires and grow his business just by changing the structure on how he interacts with virtual assistants and how he sets communication expectations. Or maybe, like a lot of small businesses, you don't want to have 10 virtual assistants. You just want to have one virtual assistant, a sidekick that you can rely on so that you don't have to do all the small tasks inside your business. Meet Jacob, a young entrepreneur who is struggling to get his virtual assistant to communicate and complete tasks on time. He took a small step back, implemented these tactics, plus got a little bit of encouragement from us, and now he has a great, reliable sidekick inside of his business. He says he saves 4 hours a day now, and he even made a testimonial video that you can find on our YouTube channel. Now give me a shout out in the chat. I want to know, what business are you in? Let me know, because I want to help you. I want you to know that it is possible for you. And I know that some of you are at this stage. You're like me. You want every customer, every client to be incredibly happy with your service, your business, or your product. But you think that the only way to do that is if you personally handle every single thing inside your business. You think that in order to run a high quality business, you need to communicate with every client or customer, you need to fulfill every order, respond to every email, handle every issue that comes in, communicate with your suppliers, do the books at the end of every single month, and do every little task your way so that it gets done at an incredibly high level. And if you do that, your business will grow and grow and grow. I have bad news for you though, and you probably already know this. That is not sustainable. You are going to burn out. Your personal life is going to suffer. You're going to hit a ceiling in your business if you have not already. And down the line, no one is going to want to buy your business if you are doing everything. Or even worse, they will offer to buy it, but they're going to lowball you. Imagine having to sell your business, your baby, for a super low price because they know that you want out of the grind, that you're burnt out. I've seen this happen so many times. And hiring goes in stages, right? You make your first hire and then your second hire and then your third. Each person you hire makes your life easier, makes you more money, makes your clients even happier. You continue to be able to hire more and more people as your business grows and grows until one day you can not work in your business anymore. You can sit at the beach, your business runs without you, you're making money, or you sell your business for a huge payday. It's that easy, right? But in reality, it's simple. But it's not that simple. In reality, your journey looks a lot more like this. At least this was my journey. When I was in college, I started off selling books on Amazon and eventually textbooks because textbooks were all around me. Then I got a cease and desist letter from my college telling me to stop competing with their bookstore. So I pivoted and I tried selling other products on Amazon, and through a ton of trial and error, I finally found that I was really good at dropshipping baby products. I grew this Amazon baby product dropshipping business doing every little thing myself. Customer service, bookkeeping, fulfilling orders, every single part of the business. I did everything myself for a while, working 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days, and my business continued to grow and grow and grow until one day it stopped growing. I had hit that ceiling. My business could not grow anymore with me doing all the work. Then I started hiring my friends, college kids that were all around me. They needed a job, I needed someone to work on my Amazon business, and in my mind, I thought they would help me grow this thing, right? They're my friends, I could count on them. Wrong. They were super unreliable, and it hurt not only my business, but my friendships as well. So I thought, no problem, no more college kids, I learned that lesson. Let's hire a US employee, some adult that was in the real world. And I hired someone with a ton of experience for $60,000 a year, which was a lot of money for me as a college kid, even though my business was doing pretty well. Even though he had a lot of experience, a few months after training him and spending a lot of time and energy and resources, we realized that he just wasn't a good fit. We parted ways on good terms, but I was down thousands of dollars, not to mention all the hours I had spent training him, not to mention the extra benefits that we were paying for. Then a buddy of mine told me about virtual assistants. He told me about Upwork, which was Odesk at the time, and I hired my very first virtual assistant out of the Philippines. Her name was Chicky Ann, and she was awesome, and I thought I had found my answer. I had absolutely no hiring process, and to be honest, I just got lucky. I hired my second and third virtual assistant after Chicky Ann, and it did not go as well. They didn't follow directions. I had to fire some of them. Some of the good ones that I really liked, they quit on me. My processes broke down. A virtual assistant had an internet issue here, someone else's computer broke. It was absolute chaos. I made one good hire and then two bad hires and then another good hire, going in circles with no consistency. I wasted time and money doing constant trial and error for years until I finally came up with a good hiring process. A process that spits out virtual assistants that are A players and kept them around for years to come. So instead of a straight line of one good hire, then a second good hire, then a third good hire, it was really more like one step forward, two steps back. One step forward, two steps back, and a crazy up and down of good hires and bad hires and turnover and retraining, costing me tons of time and money before I finally learned how to hire virtual assistants. Guys, last year, my business partner and I sold a very large business, a business completely run by virtual assistants. But we spent 8 years before that wandering, doing constant trial and error, making every single bad hire in the book before finally learning how to hire. And that's when we were able to create a business that ran without us, that was scalable, and that someone wanted to buy. And I don't want that for you. Instead of that scribbled journey up and down in every direction, I want you to know that there is a process for hiring virtual assistants efficiently and effectively without much turnover. There is a place to start that gets you on the right track with the 3 simple tactics I'm going to teach you today. To start, you need a good interview process where you focus on the right things and ask the right questions. The interview process needs to be consistent and repeatable so that you can compare applicants. And by the time you are done with each interview, you know who's going to be a good fit. You also need to be able to divide up your tasks into smaller tasks, bite-sized steps that anyone can follow, eventually turning them into standard operating procedures, or what we call SOPs. Lastly, you need a strong communication system. You don't want to waste time chasing down a virtual assistant for an update, or wondering what is being done or when they'll finish something. Communication is the glue that holds it all together. You need a system like Do that screams to you every day, my VA is awesome, they know what they're doing, or my VA is not very good, or they can't communicate. That's what we're going to show you in the 3rd tactic. Guys, these 3 systems combined allow you to create a repeatable hiring process. Having a repeatable hiring process is so important as a business owner. Once you have this process down, you will get a head start in every business you start for the rest of your life. Now, I want you to remember, you don't have to hire someone 40 hours a week. That's the beauty of this. Do you want someone to schedule all your social media posts so you don't have to do that anymore? Hire a virtual assistant for 2 hours a week and follow these tactics. You can hire someone full-time, part-time, project-based, whatever makes sense for where you're at in your business. That is totally okay, and in fact, I encourage it. Everyone has to start somewhere. You go step by step by step, so you don't have to spend years wondering, doing trial and error, trying to figure out a good hiring process. That's how I want to help you set up your hiring system that allows you to get way more done every single week, getting stuff off your plate and helping you grow your business faster.